What Obama should say to Romney? Well, I divided this into 10 parts so you can find by yourself. Let's talk about the deficit. Obama, I don't understand why he doesn't tell straight on the face of Romney that actually he is the president the last probably 30 years with the smallest deficit increase. And people, they want to see the entire $5 trillion extra that we had in the last 4 years as if it was Obama's fault. But the truth is not that one. Remember, Clinton left $281 billion and plus, and then Bush left $10 trillion debt because he paid with our money without covering it like a credit card, 2 wars, Medicare Class D, and finally the tax cuts for the rich. So Obama inherited this, and of course you cannot get rid of 2 wars in one day, the day he arrived, so the money went on and on and on. Medicare Class D was not cut, still on, because you cannot compromise at this point the seniors. And as far as concerned, finally, the tax cuts for the rich, in 2010, Obama was forced by the GOP to pass again this, otherwise they blocked everything. And the middle class couldn't go on. And 2010 was very critical because it was the moment in which we were just starting going out of the recession. And practically, if you ask the Republicans if they take responsibilities about all these programs that created 96% of the deficit, they would say no, because they are not going to cut them. So it's their responsibility, it's not Obama's responsibility about that. Now let's talk about unemployment, and that's the part that's very interesting because it's the stimulus package part that is very important actually. This is the only contribution of Obama to the deficit, the 4% with the stimulus package. All the indicators practically said that unemployment started going down, retail sales started going up, industrial production went up, oil production went up. I have a lot of indicators, and I can give you all the graphics you need, that exactly as soon as the stimulus package started, everything was going. We actually had an improvement in unemployment until 2010. Then we had this change that everybody knows. The governor, the GOP governor, they cut 640,000 public jobs for no reason. And they blocked the Obama job bill that could create 2 million jobs. They blocked the veteran bill. They blocked all the job bills that has been proposed because they want to destroy Obama. And that's when the moment in which everything started slowing down. And it's exactly in that moment. And if you look at the numbers, today we have 7.8% unemployment. Actually, even the Wall Street Journal, that is Murdoch and Fox News, they clearly said that actually if the 640,000 people were not fired and if the Obama bill passed, probably unemployment today would be around 6%, which is what more or less Obama promised at the beginning, or said, we will try to get the 5.56% unemployment. Now the Republicans, they are say, oh, you see, you didn't get it. We didn't go. Let's talk about energy production. Apart from the fact that the oil energy, gas energy, coal energy increased under Obama, and actually it opened up on public lands, the only thing is that because there were people that were owning this land without producing, he said, either you start producing an oil or I will take them back, because you cannot keep these lands that we can use in other ways, maybe for a park or something else. So even if I personally am against oil and whatever, I think that Obama went on in this direction. And let's talk about the failure of the solar investments, which is not a failure because only 3 companies, which is peanuts practically, went bankrupt out of 26. And the most interesting part of it is that practically Romney complained about the $90 billion that actually is in 10 years to be invested in this new energy, solar and wind. And for me, this is peanuts, and that's what Obama should say. It's peanuts, actually. If you look at Germany, Germany has 6,000 hours of sun, and they invest 9,000 times more in solar energy, while the United States has 65,000 hours of sun. And their sun production practically is almost equivalent of nuclear plants. Not to talk about wind in Italy and in all the other countries. And let's talk about infrastructure with solar energy. The Paris-Amsterdam railway is powered for high-speed train that, by the way, United States doesn't have. And while France and the other countries, more than 15 years, they already have them. And it's powered by that. In Italy, they are launching a bridge that is both wind and solar. And there is this is reality. Let's talk about taxes. I mean, seriously, we're talking about taxes. The reality of the fact, even a conservative economist on Fox News said practically that our best period as America, it was when the taxes for the rich were 70-80%. We're talking the period that goes between 1941, immediately after the recession, World War II, and the baby boom until the 70s, before the arrival of Reagan practically, the country was in a very, very good shape, very good economic shape. The rich were paying taxes, very high taxes. I don't expect the rich have to pay high taxes. I don't think probably 70-80% is reasonable. But now they're paying nothing. I mean, compared to what in other countries people paying taxes, that's almost ridiculous. So, and the economy went quite well. Why? Because there was a mentality that was completely different. There were strong unions. There was it was a taxation system that practically worked because was proportional to the income, which was the basis of what has been developed in Europe as well. Many people talk about Europe like socialist countries, why they don't know the difference between Western Europe and Eastern Europe. In Western Europe, practically, they use the Keynesian economy that's still using right now, nothing more, nothing less. And it was very prosperous. So the politics of Romney that have been demonstrated that they don't work, and they will create increased deficit, and the arithmetic of these numbers doesn't work, even if he's trying in any way. Obama should push this much, much more. Let's talk about Obamacare and education. Obamacare is very simple. I don't understand a person like Romney that blame Obama. He doesn't like Obamacare, but at the same time he said that Romney care was exceptional. So this is a contradiction by definition. Either is good or is bad. And because the two plans are exactly the same, if your plan is good, automatically the Obama plan has to be good. And because you have a 62% approval rate in Massachusetts, it means that Obamacare is good for the entire nation. So it's a good way to start. Of course, on top of this, each state can modify, can add things, but the basics, that's are the things that people don't understand. The basics, having a pre-existing condition gone, and having practically women that are no more a pre-existing condition, having all the possibility, for instance, for Medicare to improve for seniors. I mean, this is a big thing. And actually, it's even ridiculous because it could be even better if practically it was universal healthcare. We had the public option in terms of savings, but that was the choice anyway. Let's talk about education. Education, Obama is spending tons and tons of money for education, say Pell Grant, to send people to school. When he's talking about putting 100,000 teachers again to work, it's not a joke. And you know why? Because practically we're talking about unemployment, but reality is that there are 3.7 million jobs available, but 51% of the CEOs in this country say that they don't find the skills for that. So opposite of Romney that wants to cut education and want to fire teachers, we need more teachers, because otherwise these jobs will never be filled and there will be no competition.